Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to another video here. So I want to talk about Rosita, and not just Rosita, but I do want to talk about, I guess, potential deaths that could happen here in the last episodes, but not necessarily like specific characters. I do want to focus more on Rosita here, but I actually really want to talk about, why I do believe there should be some more deaths of some more popular characters, because the Rick and Michonne spinoff, there's also the other spinoffs, but that spinoff in particular has a really great chance here of introducing newer characters that could be fan favorites, and I really want to talk about this. So obviously, before we go any further, make sure to be a subscriber if you do want more Walking Dead content like this. The Walking Dead is returning in 25 days as of today, and I really couldn't be more excited. I just can't wait for the opening credits to roll. I can't wait to analyze the opening credits, first of all, to see just like any of the differences there, because they're probably going to change it up there a little bit, right? And you do gotta wonder how it's gonna look by the end when you get to that final episode. Like, there's probably going to be a lot more callbacks to like the beginning of the series and stuff like that. So I'm really interested in seeing how they're going to do this here, because I can feel the excitement. Like it's really quiet right now in the Walking Dead world, but you can kind of see how this excitement is starting to build. And man, like if Andrew Lincoln and Denai Guerrera start filming that Rick TV show very soon, if there's some sort of teaser that they can put together, like a post-credit scene or something like that, for the final episode in November, because remember that there's been some rumors out there, not rumors, but there's been some confirmation out there anyways that Andrew Lincoln is going to be filming the Rick TV show very soon. So who knows what very soon means? Obviously we're getting the trailer next summer, so very soon could mean literally this month, next month, the month after, or I guess at any point early in 2023. If the trailer is coming out next Comic-Con, which is next July, so in 10 months, then they're going to have to start filming at some point beforehand, right? And so I'm assuming that it could even start anytime soon, but they're definitely putting a Rick Grimes television show teaser, maybe a post-credit scene or something like that attached to The Walking Dead's ending, because that fans are going to want that. Fans are going to be so, sad that it's over, this and that, and then you just see that one little thing of Rick Grimes. Honestly, just showing us Rick Grimes or something like that would create so much excitement. And so, 25 more days until the ride begins. It's kind of beginning now. Honestly, it's only 3.5 weeks until then. I'm already super hyped. I've already been seeing some people commenting in the Discord saying that they're just super excited. They're already starting to rewatch everything and getting ready for the final episodes here. So, like I said, if you want more content, more Walking Dead content like this anyways, then make sure to be a subscriber, because the next couple of months here, the next 3 months anyways, are going to be really insane. Now, I wanted to focus on Rosita's death here, more because the trailer showcases that, or doesn't showcase her death, but it really, really strongly implies that she's going to die, because, we see her here, there's walkers everywhere. I don't know how she gets out of this situation, and so, is it going to happen? I know there's been some rumors out there, obviously, I think most of you guys have heard that. I don't know if that's even true, because there's been rumors almost about everything. So, again, I don't know where it came from, but I would just take it with a grain of salt. But having said that, I still do get the vibe that the trailer is actually showcasing the deaths of a few characters, that they're not just misdirects like they've been in the past. Just because, if you're actually looking at the scene with Rosita, how does she survive? Like, how does she actually get out of this situation? There's kind of no way. Like, there's walkers everywhere. It would just be so insane for her to somehow get out of this situation. To me, I think it makes sense that Coco, if anything, is sort of saved, or I guess Rosita gives her life to save Coco, and there's actually a shot of Gabriel in the window, and I'm kind of just putting two and two together here, but I think it would be absolutely just tragic as hell if Gabriel was trying to save Rosita and Rosita was like, I can't do it, this and that, like, here, take Coco. You can imagine it, right? Like, it would just be, like, the death of Rosita in that scene would be absolutely so tragic. And honestly, it's just so tragic because it's the father, well, quite literally a father, but, like, I just mean, like, the father and the mother together in this scene, and the mother's giving her life up to save her child. It's gonna be, everyone's gonna be crying during this scene. It's Rosita. Like, to actually see her die, and to die in a really tragic way like this, if we see her as a walker afterwards, honestly, I think some people aren't gonna be able to recover after this, because it's gonna be too much. It's gonna be a lot, but that's the thing. The Walking Dead has always excelled in that way. They've always been so amazing at giving those deaths. Like, it always should be so shocking when you see a character that you love so much become a walker, because it really it amplifies, you know, the heartbreak of what a walker essentially is, because it is a human being, right? And I think that's the one thing that has been lost over the years, is that when you see the walkers, they're just kind of nothing. Like, they're just really nothing. And sometimes when you see people turn to walkers, it's a little more shocking, because you're like, whoa, I wasn't expecting that. And it's a little more heartbreaking. But I think we need a lot more of that here. And honestly, I would really prefer it if, and this is just sort of a random complaint of mine, but I really would prefer it if, like, when people die now on the show, if they would still have that fresh walker look, and sort of have a mixture of it. Because I noticed on the show in recent years or recent seasons, whenever a character dies, it's almost immediate that their skin is like gray and they just seem so like thin and rotted, and they look like current walkers. And it's like, that makes no sense. You go back to season 1 walkers, they're essentially just like normal human beings. It's just that they might look a little more sick or whatever, but their skin is basically the same color. They haven't turned more gray or anything like that. Like, they look more fresh, right? They look more alive. And that's the one thing as a zombie fan, you know, when you go back and you watch those first couple of seasons of The Walking Dead, those zombies look so amazing. And I get it, over time they're going to deteriorate. I just think if certain people die now, they shouldn't deteriorate that fast. And I'm thinking of like Gamma. I mean, the list goes on and on, honestly. Just go look at the recent deaths and stuff of certain characters. Like, they should literally look the same. There shouldn't be any change physically. Just basically maybe their eyes are sort of all messed up. But it's almost instant. Like, honestly, I would really like to watch and see how the hell it happens. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really get it, but going back to what I was saying about Rosita and her death, you know, I guess the question I would have for you guys is, would it be too tragic to kill off a character like that? Because some people have been asking for some bigger deaths. And I know some people are going to be saying it'd be too sad this and that, you can't do that or whatever. But the thing is, you know, in my experience, those people have always kind of been there. Like, people have always said that about every character going back to like season 1. You know, people have always wanted them to keep certain characters around. But there's also been a big fan base out there, obviously, or a big portion of the fan base that has wanted some bigger deaths. And we haven't gotten them recently. Alden's death, I don't count that as a big death at all, because he was a more recognizable character, and I guess he was more of a bigger death, you know, when compared to just like some of the side characters and stuff. But it's, again, like, it didn't really matter too much. You need to start killing off some bigger characters. And the reason why I'm bringing all this up is, first of all, the last episodes here, they have such a great opportunity to really make this, like, make it feel like it's the end of this current story here, right? And really kill off like a lot of characters. Honestly, don't just kill off Rosita, kill off like maybe 2 or 3 other characters. I know they're not going to, but maybe at least one other character that we're not expecting. Like kill off Aaron, Gabriel, Eugene. I guess don't kill off Gabriel because you're already killing off Rosita, but maybe Eugene, or I guess you're sort of, again, that's sort of the mentality there, right? Like, if you kill off Rosita, you still want to have some connections to earlier seasons, so that means you can't kill off Gabriel because of the connection to Coco, and then you can't kill off Eugene because then there's literally no connection to that trio that first arrived, right? And so it's like, who else do you kill off then? I guess Aaron. And that's what I mean. Like, I think they have to start killing off some more characters. Maybe Jerry. You know, Jerry, he's an awesome character. I love the guy, but it's like, where is his story going? And that's kind of the thing. You know, that these last episodes here, they're ending the Walking Dead story as it is, you know, with this main group here, because the spin-offs are happening and they're going to be doing so much else with the core cast, right? You're having Michonne, Rick, Negan, Maggie, Daryl, everyone out there meeting newer characters. I mean, Carol eventually is going to be a part of one of those shows. Like, you're having the core cast go out and do other things. They're going to be meeting so many new people. I think it's time to, you know, wrap up some of these character stories here. And I guess that's another question I have for you guys. Like, how much do you see these characters here, like the characters that aren't getting spinoffs, how much do you see them playing a role in the future? Because I don't really see them playing a role too much, unless, you know, maybe they do a sort of reunion show where they go back to Alexandria, this and that, and you see everyone. Like, I feel like it's basically just going to be that. They could do more, I guess, in like a Tales of the Walking Dead episode. But again, I kind of see it as like, this is the opportunity to create new characters here that will absolutely be loved by all of us fans, right? And I think the Rick and Michonne television show is like the key to that, honestly. The other spinoffs, they can do that, but there's something more about Rick and Michonne and how they interact with newer characters that fans all of a sudden just start to like. I mean, especially Rick, just because he led the show from like season 1, and it was like every new person he talked to, we were like, you know, we always sort of viewed The Walking Dead through his eyes. And so it was like whenever he talked to somebody new, that person all of a sudden had some sort of significance, right? Because it was like, he's a part of Rick's story kind of thing. And like, you know, just say he meets two random dudes or whatever, right? At the Pacific Republic. And like, he actually forms this bond with them over the 6, 7, 8 years that he's been there. I mean, these two characters are going to be fan favorites. Like, they're going to be loved by us. And that's what I mean. This is the perfect opportunity to do that. I think it's time to kill off some of the more popular characters that we've had on the show and create some newer ones. You know, so like again, going back to it, if in The Walking Dead season 11C here, if Rosita dies, maybe she shouldn't be the only one. You know, I don't want the writers to be so scared that they can't come up with good characters like that. Because honestly, it feels like it's been a thing like that for years, where it's like there's certain characters that fans just absolutely love, and they know that fans love those characters, that they're too scared to kill them off and you know, to introduce newer characters because they're worried that these new characters aren't gonna, you know, I guess be received well by the fans. I think it's honestly like, you have to get rid of that. I do think keeping the older characters around for a while honestly just sort of makes their characters feel a little stale, right? Because their story arc should have ended maybe a couple of years ago. And I think this is why the Rick and Michonne TV show is like the perfect opportunity to introduce newer characters that are going to maybe one day return with them to Alexandria. And I think that would be really awesome here. So circling around back to what I was talking about with Rosita, is she going to die? I mean, you know, if you're going based off the trailer, most likely. But I really think she shouldn't be the only one here. And I think it's a really important thing that in The Walking Dead season 11C, they kill off a couple more characters like this. Just because it's going to be heartbreaking, but it's adding so much to the story. People have been wanting some bigger deaths for a while. And honestly, I have too. Like, I've mentioned this before, you know, in season 10, I really thought Gabriel was going to die. And I thought it would have been perfect because in season 9, you killed off some really, like, you killed off Tara, Enid, and a few other characters with the Whisperer Pikes. You know, honestly, I think that was really good because you didn't want to kill off too many big characters because Rick and Michonne just kind of, or not, Michonne didn't leave yet, but Rick left, and like, you just killed off Carl the season before. So I think killing off the characters that they did, honestly, I think kind of worked. And I think it was fine. The Whisperer Pike scene, I mean, fans love that scene. When they look back at the last couple of seasons, especially the Angela Kang era, they love that scene specifically. And then you go to season 10. Again, Sadiq, was he a big death? Kind of not really, because he was just introduced in season 8. Other than that, Alpha died, and I guess Beta technically died, but they were going to die. But again, Gabriel was supposed to be the big death that season. And I think they missed an opportunity there. I mean, I love Gabriel as a character, but like, his comic death is so iconic. Why didn't you do that? Everyone wanted it. But again, they avoided that. So whatever. So us fans are kind of feeling like, oh, maybe you should have killed someone off there. Whatever. We'll see what season 11 brings. You kill off Alden, I guess, in season 11B. You kill off a lot of no-name characters with Maggie's group from the Meridian. I mean, there isn't a lot that happens in season 11A and B. And so now we're going into season 11C here. And yes, they could kill off Rosita, but I think that's not enough. I think they should kill off a couple more characters here. Just because, again, you're ending The Walking Dead. You want to end it in such a crazy way. You want the story to just make sense. But, like, again, these other spin-offs can introduce these newer characters. Rick, Michonne, they can meet a lot more people there, and those people could become fan favorites. And honestly, that's probably one of the more exciting aspects of these spin-offs that I'm most excited for, is, like, Rick and Michonne meeting new people that we're just going to fall in love with as newer characters. Because it's not hard to do that. I mean, look at Connie. Connie is a standout character from the Angela Kang era. Connie is such a fan favorite. She's an amazing character. So it's been proven that you can introduce newer characters like this. People are going to like these newer characters. And again, you don't have to be killing off characters left and right constantly. It's just that since you haven't done it in a while, you know, 2 or 3 characters, maybe kill off, like, just say like they kill off Rosita, Aaron, and like, I don't know, just sort of a background character that's sort of recognizable. I'd have to think of who that would be, but that right there, I think, would be really good in these next 8 episodes, because it would just kind of, it would make it feel like the last however long really paid off, you know, in terms of the story. And so, yeah, anyways, I'm rambling on here a little bit here. I definitely would like to know what you guys think about doing the longer videos. I've been sort of doing longer videos kind of lately, just because I kind of like just talking about it, but I also don't want to ramble too much, because I know I can do that. But I kind of view this as, honestly, as sort of not necessarily a podcast, but in that same vein a little bit. I just want to kind of get my thoughts and talk about it. Like, I don't want to get to the point constantly. I would like to sort of live with that thought for a little bit and just talk about it, which I think most of you guys like, because, you know, honestly, when I do the smaller videos, like, I don't get the same reaction from you guys. And so, yeah, but I'm going to leave it here. Definitely post your thoughts down below. Do you think Rosita should be the only death? I guess, do you think Rosita is going to die? Are you excited to meet newer characters, or are you just happy with the characters that we have right now? Honestly, I would really like to know what you guys think in the comment section. I just like, it's such an interesting topic because it's sort of been a thing with The Walking Dead for a while. You know, going back to, I mean, earlier seasons, I remember everyone was saying, oh, you need to kill someone off. And honestly, back then it was a little too crazy because people wanted a big death almost every episode or every couple of episodes or in a mid-season finale. I think that's a little too crazy because you want to sort of surface the story and have it make sense. But I mean, if you look at The Walking Dead now, it kind of feels like they're not really necessarily doing that at all. They're sort of keeping everyone around like just kind of forever. So I think they need to spice it up a little bit here. I think they should change some things, and that's sort of my opinion on it. But again, I would like to know your guys' opinion on it. So definitely post your thoughts down below. Hope you guys all enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.